Why do these memories keep coming back? I thought I had moved on from this, but they still haunt me. It's like a weight that I can't seem to shake off. It's affecting my sleep, my relationships, and my work. I feel like I'm stuck in this never ending cycle of pain and regret. Maybe I should try to ignore these memories, push them to the back of my mind. But I know that won't work. They'll just keep resurfacing like waves crashing on the shore. I need to face them head on. It's hard though. Every time I think about that moment, my heart races and my palms get sweaty. I feel like I'm reliving it all over again. But I need to confront these feelings, acknowledge them, and accept them. I wonder if anyone else has gone through something like this. Maybe I should talk to someone about it. But who? My friends and family won't understand. They will just tell me to get over it or move on. Very predictable. Maybe a therapist would be helpful, but I don't know if I'm ready to open up to a stranger. I need to find a way to cope with these bad memories. Maybe I can try mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or meditation. Or maybe I can try writing about my feelings, get them out on paper instead of bottling them up inside. Whatever I do, I know I can't keep living like this. These bad memories are holding me back, and I need to find a way to move on and move forward. It won't be easy, I know, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to face my demons and find a way to heal. I really need to put my feet down about this so I don't always become a victim of negative memories that creates negative emotions in my mind. I really need help. I really do. It's well. It's well. It really is.
Memories can be good or bad. It depends on the content that make up that memory in your mind and how you feed it and what it does anytime it comes up. Everybody has some kind of memories. Like I said, it can either haunt you, that's a bad memory, or it can bring some smiles to your face, and that can be a good memory. If you want to understand how memories work so that you can master it, then don't go away. This video is for you. I'll be right back. Welcome back. My name is Quist, your MindSurgeon, and we are talking about memories. What is a memory? Basically, it's an event that has occurred in your life that either brings you good feelings or bad feelings anytime they come up. So basically, it's some kind of information or data that usually affects your emotions depending on what contents it has. Oftentimes we hear people talk about how they can forget a bad event that occurred in their life that has become some sort of a memory. Because every day we have events happening in our lives, we have things going on in our lives that affects our emotions, that brings good memories or can bring bad memories. There are events that sometimes we don't wish to even remember them anymore. Sometimes there are also events that we would like to, once in a while, daydream about it, take a vacation there, and smile to ourselves because we miss them. Especially when you have good memories about that loved one you were once in a relationship with, okay? So what do you do when you have a bad event that has occurred in your life, or series of events that has created some sort of a memory in your life that you wish to deal with by either forgetting about it so that it doesn't affect you badly anytime they come up? Here are some of the things that I'm going to suggest to you that you do. The first thing to do is to label that memory. Obviously a bad memory. Sometimes we go through certain events in life that brings us some level of regrets because we took a bad decision or we made a wrong choice. What we can do to have control over that memory so that it doesn't haunt us is to label it. Yes, is to label it. So how do you label the memory? It's to put tags on it. That is one of those things. So let me explain how that memory comes about. Have you realized that you mostly remember easily the bad memories or the bad things that happen in your life than the good ones? It's because the information attached to bad memories as a result of bad events is that you connect them with a lot of things, and then it affects most part of your emotional cortex, okay? And so it's linked with an overlay of things within your mind. And anytime it comes up, that link comes to play, okay? And so when you walk out from a relationship, right? One of the things, or many of the things that you remember in that relationship that hurt you from that person are the bad things that happened in that relationship, as opposed to the many good things that happened. But unfortunately, we don't really talk about the good ones. It's because, yes, it brings a good memory, but we always naturally allow the bad memories to take space in our minds. It's because of the attributes and the characteristics of bad memories. And so when it comes to labeling a bad memory, you put a tag on it, and then you tell your mind that this is what this memory is about. It's a bad thing because I made a mistake, because the person who treated me badly possibly didn't know me better, or I didn't have enough information. That's why I made that decision that caused me to take that bad choice that ended me up having a negative event around it that has become a bad memory. So you tag it, you name it, you label it. The second thing that you do to master over a bad memory and prevent it from haunting you is to understand that event of a bad memory. Understanding by its word means to stand under something, right? Now, when you stand under something, it means that depending on the weight of that thing, you either enter the ground with it because of the weight, or like in the case of a king carried in a palanquin, the authority as at that moment lies on the shoulders of the people that are carrying the palanquin. So if they displace themselves, the king comes down with all his authority. That brings about a certain level of disgrace. So it's two things. You either let the weight of that bad memory push you down into the ground, or you act as the carrier of that palanquin of a bad memory. So at that moment, you exercise some level of authority. And the authority comes by you understanding why it's a bad memory, why any time that memory comes up, it brings some level of bad emotions, okay? So a deep understanding of it, thinking deeply about it, and telling yourself, okay, so this and this is why this happened, that is creating the bad memory, and I regret it. So when you understand it deeply, it leads you to the next phase of having mastery over it, is by acceptance. Yes, you have to accept it. That's a bad memory. It's a bad choice you made. For example, the first time you lost your virginity, bad choice. Or either if you agreed to lose that virginity of yours, or you took a wrong decision that ended you up somewhere you don't really want to remember anymore, you'd have to accept it. That is a bad choice. It's like a footballer who makes a wrong tackle that ends up in a penalty that causes his team to be out of the championship. Yeah, it's a memory, and they usually discuss about it. That's a bad choice, and they deal with it by accepting it. You can't do anything about it. So the only thing you can do about it leads me to the next thing to master the memory. That's a bad memory. Is to make a decision. Okay, so you have a series of bad memories as a result of bad events. The only way you can push that memory, okay, because it's difficult to say that you intentionally forget that memory. In fact, one of the things about the brain and your mind is that the more you tell it not to, the more it expands itself and does it. Yes. The more you tell your mind not to, the more it finds reasons why it should not. And so it zooms in on it and magnifies it. And the more it gains ground in your mind or in your brain. Okay? And so if you say that you're going to intentionally forget about that memory, you're actually feeding it. And it magnifies itself. So this is what you do. You actually push down bad memories deep down the memory lane by taking good decisions that create good memories. And you require a lot of good memories to deal with one bad memory. Yes. Okay. At least for you to passively forget about it, it has to take about 18 months. Yes, to forget about the bad memory that brings you negative emotions. Okay. So to master it, you have to take decisions on creating very good memories about the very thing that caused you that same bad memory. So if you walked out of a relationship, possibly you're divorced, you have to make good new friends and enjoy that friendship. And that leads me to the very last one, very important way of dealing with a negative memory or bad memory that brings you negative emotions. The first one we said is to label it, right? Good. So the last one to master this negative memory, okay, is to choose ahead of it. Now let me take time to explain this because it's a very interesting point. The reason why negative memories bring you bad or negative emotions is because they take you by surprise. It's because you become a victim of something that occurs and it's linked to that memory, and immediately your emotions come at play. So instead of waiting for that phenomenon or series of events to happen, you go ahead of it. So you choose or you surprise that memory, so to speak. You choose when to allow that memory to come to play. And that's what you do. It's just like treating it like a docket or a file placed on a shelf. That file becomes relevant when you go to the shelf and you pick it out. Other than that, that file remains on the shelf and gathers dust. In other words, it becomes irrelevant as long as you don't visit it. So you decide when to go to that shelf and draw out that file of negative memory or bad memory that brings you negative emotions. So you determine when you allow yourself to be down by that memory, you surprise it by saying to yourself that, hey, I'm the master here. I determine how much it can affect me, right? And so, for example, you find yourself with some friends and then someone creates a bad joke that is linked to a bad memory. Instead of you getting triggered by it, right, you exercise emotional intelligence by If they're trying to tease you in that moment, you also laugh. Yes, so it doesn't hurt that much. That it means that you have control over it. Let me help you. Let's laugh about that situation because it's in the past. In that way, you have mastery over it. You determine when that bad joke should bring you that negative memories. If somebody is trying to laugh at you or pass a bad joke about your past addictions or something you did in the past whilst you're in school, or remind you of someone you possibly had some fling with, or something, or the death of a loved one, you determine, okay, when you decide that memory should make you a victim of bad emotions. And so memories are very good depending on how you treat them, by labeling, by understanding, by taking it by surprise, and the other points that I've raised. And so I leave you with this. The mind is a very powerful instrument or a biological component or a very great asset in the soul realm of a man, which is the real you. And it feeds on information and data. And so once in a while, what you do is to filter those data yourself by tagging them and placing them where they belong. And that is how you have mastery over your mind and how you have mastery over your emotions, so that you can determine which memory, whether good or bad, have an effect on you positively or negatively. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I would like you to comment and like this video so that I can reach a wider audience and help me grow this awesome channel of mine. I want you to be part of the success story. Yes, please, I beg you. Just don't watch the video, kindly subscribe and share, okay? And most importantly, you can ask all your questions or submissions or contributions in the comment box. It's very important so that we can get interactive, okay? I'd love to hear from you, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that you don't become a victim of bad memories the next time. Take care and have a great day. I'm out.